Okay, welcome. We are going to learn how to install and configure Linux Debian 6.06 or 6.05, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is a virtual machine. We create a new virtual machine. Right, we're going to select this image, the ISO. We're going to install this i361. Next is a Linux. Let's select Linux 6. We get Linux 6, 32 bits. You must be wondering why. Okay, 32 bits will be more compatible with most operating systems. I'm going to save it into my directory. I'm going to give it a new folder. I give it called Debian 632 bits. So I know which is which. It's a good practice to have proper file naming. Max 8 gig will do. Next. Okay, let's customize the hardware. Okay, over the network adapter, I like to use LAN segment. Okay, in my LAN segment, I have already public and local created already. So I'm going to use local first. Close, finish. It will start to install. Okay, we're going to not install the tools, so remind me later. Okay, look into this. This is default Debian installation. Okay, we're going to use the normal installation, not the graphical installation. You will move on. Okay, English. This is immaterial because this is the mirror site. So let's put Singapore first. American English for the keyboard map. Okay, we'll start to install. Okay, at this point of time, we use the LAN segment, so there won't be any DHCP network IP address given to you. You can either cancel this or can wait for it to finish up to 100%. Look at this, it's failed. Okay, so we're going to put continue. And we do not configure network at this time. Right? Host name we use it as Debian. Debian will do. Password. At this moment we have no specific password. We just use any password that you like. Just don't forget the password. Okay, every installation you need to install. You need to set up a new user. So I'm going to use a username as user. Okay, password will be password. Alright, then you start to install already. Okay, this is only a basic Linux Premier. We're going to use entire disk. Okay, this is the disk that we created, 8 gig, remember, just now. Okay, if you don't know what's going on, and we're not going to cover these two into too detail, we're going to use all files in one partition only. Okay, and we just accept the defaults, finish partitioning, and remember to write the changes to this after you have created a partition. Then you start to create the ext partitions. Linux format is not FAT32, not FAT, not NTFS, but ext 3 or 4. Okay, this first CD is done already. So we're going to scan for second CD. No, of course, we're not going to leave it as it is first. Okay, this configuring the popularity contest. No, we are not going to do it. Okay, we're going to install only the standard system. We're not going to install anything else. Okay, so we're going to take away this and leave only this. Okay, how I select? I put spacebar, no spacebar, spacebar, no spacebar. We're going to leave it as standard system utilities and continue. The installation on Debian is rather fast. Okay, over here they ask you, do you want to install the bootloader in Linux? The newer versions of Linux they use a grub. Okay, of course you need to have the bootloader to be able to boot into Linux. So put yes. Okay, and we are done. Continue to reboot. And here we are. It's all done. We log in as root, password, password, and we are done. Okay, some common Linux command will be clear to clear the screen. Who am I to know what's the user that is logged on. Print working directory to know where exactly are you in the system subsystem, Linux subsystem. ls is to list. There's nothing here. That's cd space to root directory. You do a ls again, you see plenty of things. ls to list or long listing. Long listing will allow you to see the permissions. These are the permissions. Okay. Right now we want to see how many network cards we have. We use ifconfig, you see space dash or a. We have two network cards that's installed. Okay, I intend to install, sorry, you have one network card that's installed. The LO is a loopback, local loopback. We intend to install two network cards. So what we're going to do now is to shut down. Okay, how do we shut down the system? We type shut down. Oh, if you notice, if you don't know the command in totality, you can always type shut, type tab, it will show you the full command. Space minus H for hot, time is now, we shut down now. Okay, once the system shut down, it disappears. Okay, we're going to turn it on again. Okay, here we are. Gonna run this. Before I run, we edit the virtual machine settings. We're going to add one more network card here. Add. Alright, network adapter. Next, we're going to leave it as default first. Finish. Okay, this is our first network adapter. We connect to local. This is a second network adapter. I'm going to connect to public. So we have two different sets of segments in the network adapter, and I put OK. Right now, we power up the system again. Alright, you're done. Root. And we are in. Who am I? Okay, you notice this is a hex sign. A hex sign tells me that I'm the super user. Super user is like the administrator of a system. Okay, let's see again how many network cards do we have. ifconfig all. Now we have two network cards, ETH0 and ETH1. Okay, in Linux, the network cards are called ETH, Ethernet. We are going to configure now how to configure the IP address for this network card. Okay, if you have remembered, I'm going to configure my ETH0 as local and ETH1 as public. How do we know which is which? Okay, I'm going to do this. Have a look at this. ifconfig ETH0 first. Okay, you notice the hardware address 7C, ending with 7C. Look at the virtual machine. LAN segment advanced 7C. This is the exact replica of the MAC address. Alright, ETH1, you realize the MAC address is 86, ending with 86. Again, we come here to see here. Is this the same? Yes, so we are confirmed that my ETH0 is towards the local, the ETH1 is towards the public. Okay, now I'm going to set up the IP address. How do I do that? Okay, I'm going to use Pico. Okay, Pico is the text editor. Space etc space networks space interface. Hey, you have to know where is this file. You have to memorize the location of this file. Okay, I'm going to type this. You have to remember to do this also. Auto ETH0 iFace. Okay, iFace stands for Internet Interface. ETH0 iNet static address 192.168.100. Say for example 100. Okay, net mask 255.255.255.0. The gateway, sorry, I want it to be 1, not 100. Gateway will be 192.168.100.1 itself. Okay, we are configuring this Linux server as a router. We give it the IP address for the second interface, ETH1 iNet static address 172.168.100.1 net mask 255.255.255.0 gateway 172.168.100.1. Okay, that's all. That's all. We're going to save the file, Control X. Yes, we're going to save it as etc network interface, the same file name, enter, root to file. Okay, this cat is to read the file at type to see whether is it correct or not. Interfaces, look at this, it's the same thing, correct? Okay, initially the IP address is not set. Let's have a look at this. ifconfig ETH0. Do you see any IP addresses there? No. ETH1, any addresses here? No. So what we're going to do is we're going to restart the network module. How do we do that? We type service networking stop service networking start. Okay, now we do ifconfig again. Look at this right now. You see the IP address here? And same thing for this. You see IP address? Oh, it's not here. That means there must be a typo error. Let's have a look at the file again. Usually it's always a typo error. Did I type something wrongly? Let me look for the mistake first. Okay, here we found a mistake already. Let's look at the Pico etc network interface first. Okay, the original mistake is this. I forgot to put the auto ETH1. Okay, it has to be these 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay, let's have a look at ifconfig ETH0. You see IP address. ifconfig ETH1. You see the other IP address. Okay, so this is the configuration for IP settings. I'm going to power up my two other servers to show you that we can ping each other. Okay, welcome back. I have powered up a Windows 7 Professional as well as power up a Windows 2008 server. These are the IP addresses of both the systems. Have a look at this. IP config for this is 192.168.100.100. For this will be 172.168.100.100. So the Win2K8 is on the outside network, the public network. LAN segment will be public. As for the Windows 7 the LAN segment will be local. Okay, so I put the local on the left, the public on the right, my Linux in the center. Okay, since we have both the networking done for this and this, I'm going to attempt to ping my Windows 7 server, which is my internet networks. There's a reply. In Linux, you got Control C to break it. I'm going to ping it to my external networks. Again, there's a reply. Okay, so it tells me that the connectivity from the Linux server Debian to the Windows 7 is okay. From the Linux server to the Windows server is okay. Okay, over here, I will attempt to ping my Linux server 17192.168.101. Pass. Same, over here, I will attempt to ping my Linux server 172. Clear. Now, since I can ping from my Windows 7 to my Linux server, and my Windows 2008 server can ping to my Linux server, I'm going to attempt to ping from my Windows 7 into my Windows server. IP address of the Windows server will be 172.168.100.100. Cannot. It doesn't reach the Windows server. Alright, but does it reach the other part of the Linux here, the outgoing interface? It does. Similarly, if I ping 192.168.100, I will not be able to reach my server, but I will be able to reach the other end of the Linux server because it is within itself. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We're going to allow packet forwarding in Linux. The command will be list. You have to remember this: system control net IPv4 IP forwarding equals to 1. You're going to allow IP forwarding. You get this message back. Now, if we go to ping the server from the Windows 7 to the Windows 2008, just now it didn't pass. Look at this. Now it will pass. Similarly, over here it will pass. Okay, so this concludes the network setup for the Linux system to function as a IP forwarding router.